Guys, I'm a little bit annoyed, right, with Mary Queen of Scots. Not the person, the film.
Mary Stuart is condemned to death.
Which is a massive Hollywood production coming out this year for some, next year for others. I'll tell you about that in a little minute. All about Mary Queen of Scots' life and death. Starring Saoirse Ronan as Mary Queen of Scots and Margot Robbie as Queen Elizabeth I. Something I need to get off my chest, and I don't really know if I'm being selfish by saying what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it, right? Mary Queen of Scots, the film, a movie all about a Scottish queen, which was very important in Scotland's history, is being released in the USA on the 7th of December in the cinemas, right? It is being released in the United Kingdom, here in Scotland, more than a month later. In fact, 5 or 6 weeks later, on the 19th of January. 2019. I really don't get what's going on here. That is an unexcusable time difference. Shut up, seagulls. And by the way, thank you very much everybody for watching. Welcome. If you're new here, please do hit that big red subscribe button in the corner, and then you can watch all of my videos from now on, and we can connect, and you will have joined the clan, Mary Queen of Scots. I'm furious. These people, who do they think they are? Why, oh why, is Mary Queen of Scots the film being released more than a month later in Scotland than it is in the United States of America? I put the question out to my followers on Twitter and we had a bit of a debate on this. As I've said to you guys, this is an interesting year for television, Scottish television. We've got Outlander Season 4 about to launch. 2 weeks after that, we have got Outlaw King, which is a Netflix film all about Robert the Bruce. And then what I thought would be little more than a month later, we would get Mary Queen of Scots. Well, if you're watching the United States, of course you will be getting Mary Queen of Scots. But in Scotland, we won't be seeing it. I should actually mention that both of those films, Outlaw King and also Mary Queen of Scots, had the final cut releases at film festivals where they could be judged by critics for awards and all that kind of stuff. And Mary Queen of Scots will get an initial outing at the American Film Institute Festival in Los Angeles. So those were both the original releases, but that was just a very select audience. The actual public premieres are a different story. So the public premiere of Outlaw King is actually happening in Edinburgh this week. And in fact, just a couple of days after you guys are watching this video, Outlaw King will be premiered. The international premiere will be right here in Scotland, and that's great. That's exactly what should have happened. Filmed mostly in Scotland with a Scottish director, David Mackenzie. So it makes total sense that films like Outlaw King and Mary Queen of Scots should get their international premieres in Edinburgh, Scotland. Because Mary Queen of Scots, the film, was actually filmed, produced and all that kind of stuff largely in Scotland as well. Both of those films have actors from different places around the world. The main star of Outlaw King is Chris Pine, obviously from the United States. The main stars of Mary Queen of Scots, Saoirse and Margot, are not from Scotland either. Saoirse, she's from Ireland/America, where Margot Robbie is from Australia. But nonetheless, largely Scottish productions. And it just baffles me, confuses me, and as I say, angers me as to why Mary Queen of Scots, the film, should have snubbed Scotland in such a way, given that the character, Mary Queen of Scots, is such an important figure in Scotland's history. So I had a bit of a debate on Twitter with some of my followers about this, and I got a few interesting comments and feedback, right? So Missy C says, if the financier is US based, it would likely be released here first. Theo says, to be eligible for Oscar contention in 2019, it must be released before the end of the year in the US. Rachel says, I'm thinking possibly because she, Mary Queen of Scots, has more descendants in the US than in Scotland. So just to reply to some of those comments. First of all, the fact that the movie was given its budget by a US production company, which was Focus Features, I think, which is owned by Universal some way in the distribution chain. I don't think that's a really relevant point. Netflix largely funded Outlaw King, the movie, and that is getting its UK release first of all. And then also there is the point about Oscar nominations for next year, and it's right. To get an Oscar nomination, the film has to be released before the end of the year, which makes sense that they are releasing it in December in the US, which will give people enough time and the critics enough time that they can reward it for next year's Oscars. That's absolutely fine. I totally get that, right? And I think my point in this is not to say that the US date should be shifted back to the same time as we're getting in the UK in January, is that in the UK we should have the release of Mary Queen of Scots on the same date as the US date. I'm not saying the US date should be changed. I'm not saying the US date is wrong. I'm just saying, why isn't the UK date on the same date as they're releasing it in the US? I do not understand that. And then there's a point about people saying, well, she had a lot more descendants, there's probably a lot more interest in the United States. That might be a bit crazy for some people to kind of comprehend that, but that is actually true. There will be far more people interested in this film in the United States, in other countries that were largely colonised by Scottish people as they emigrated from Scotland, Canada, Australia. I think there will be a lot more interest in this film in those types of countries than there will be in Scotland. Scotland, for a start, is a very small population. We've only got 5.5 million people here. And second of all, like I've described in my vlogs many times before, we are not all that interested here in our own history, for one. And for two, I think Scottish people have become very sceptical of people from outside of Scotland doing films about Scotland. And people have this kind of fear, and that's one of the reasons reasons that Outlander is largely ignored among the Scottish audience, I think. So maybe they have taken account of that. Maybe they think, okay, Scotland is not going to be our largest market here by any means of the imagination. The actual target market would be the US, would be Canada. That's probably true. I really still don't get it. I don't think that's a reason why there should be a before and after. There's no translation issues either because it's all in English. Please, if anybody is any the wiser on this, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Why are they doing this? Why is it over a month later in the UK? Maybe they won't get many people watching it here in Scotland after all. That could well be true, but I still don't think it's very fair, and it's miffed me a little bit, I must admit. It has miffed me, but I'll get over it. I will get over it. I think one of the big sticking points for the audience, a lot of you guys commenting, was the kind of historical inaccuracy, the glaring one that everybody mentioned, and that is the fact that Mary Queen of Scots and her cousin, Queen Elizabeth, who ended up getting Mary Queen of Scots killed, they never actually met in real life. They communicated through letters and messengers, but they never actually met, where it looks like in the trailer they actually meet. So that is a big discrepancy that a lot of people have been put off with already. But like, let's just give this a chance. Maybe it's not what it seems. Maybe when they meet in the trailer, it's just our imagination because it's made to look like they actually meet. Maybe it is flashbacks. Maybe it's them imagining that they meet when actually it's not like that. We don't really know yet. It is a big glaring difference from how the history actually happened. Can we forgive them that? I personally think we can forgive it. It is like creative license. I think that is something that we should move on from that point. But a lot of you guys who are big Mary Queen of Scots fans and like the history almost seem like you might be unable to get past that point. I'd like to know your thoughts. I'm excited about the film. I am. I'm just miffed, and I don't really understand the reasons why it would be released in the UK, in Scotland, more than a month after it's going to be released in the US. There's something up with that. Something that just doesn't sit right with me, and I'm venting about it. I'm triggered. What do you guys think about it? What are your opinions? I'd love to know in the comments down below. Anyway guys, listen, I have taken on a new project that I'm doing for Patreons only. Please do check out my Patreon page. You'll find out lots more information there about what I'm going to tell you right now. I am going to be doing a new photo project. I told you before, I'm a photographer. I have been a photographer professionally. I used to work for magazines and stuff. And I want to challenge myself. I want to do a series of photographs that are going to become poster prints. The first one is going to be announced this week. And I want to do once a month, a 12-month series of photos that are going to be posters, which will kind of make up a kind of Scottish calendar. This is my Scottish Legend series of photos and poster prints that I'm going to be making available, first of all, to my Patreon supporters in my clan squad, right? Basically, every single month, I'm going to be giving people from my clan squad and upwards on Patreon and my YouTube channel members a digital edition of a poster every single month that's going to be Scotland themed based on my love of Scotland. And over the 12 months, it will lead up to a whole series of these photos, 12 high quality prints that have either a theme every month that make up the story of what that month is about. And that is what I'm going to be doing in this photo series over the next year. I'm very excited. Every single month, a brand new digital poster that you guys can collect, you guys can print out. They're also going to be available to buy on my site as prints as well if you want to do it that way. But go and find out more information on patreon.com as to what that is all about. So guys, listen, I just want to say thanks very much for watching. I've got some really exciting videos coming your way this week that I cannot reveal right now. But when you see them this week, it'll all make sense as to what I've just been talking about earlier on in today's video. It's really exciting. And I'm actually not in Edinburgh right now, I'm at home. I just got back from New York a couple of days ago. You will have seen from the recent vlogs. And I'm currently on the Isle of Arran on the west coast of Scotland. I've never been here before. It's my first time I am on a tour, and I'm going to tell you all about that probably next week. So lots coming, lots to discuss, lots of Scottish news things coming up, and of course the Patreon poster campaign that I'm going to be doing to make a whole year a photo series of poster prints. I'm so excited to show you guys that, and it's just going to challenge me and push me to actually do more with my camera, and that's what this is all about as well for me, and also to document my country. I love Scotland. I think we've got a lot to offer, and I want to show that off in all the ways that I can, as well as these videos, also in photographs. I love photography and I need to be doing more. So thank you very much everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great night, morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever time of day it is wherever you are in the world. Take care.